Well, this is the next thing I wanted to show you. It's on the other side of the commutator where the bearing is. Now, some of these motors got pressed bearings, and if you get a pressed bearing, it's not a bad deal. It's just you can't adjust the bearings any. If you don't have a pressed bearing, you're gonna and see they're on the back too. You got a pressed bearing, but if you don't have pressed bearings, then you're able to shim to adjust. And I'll show you about shimming later. When somebody brings it up, I'll show you about shimming. But when you get done winding this metal, or the wire is going to be right down onto that copper. I mean, right down onto that bearing. And what you're going to want to do is get in there and force that stuff up a little bit, and then we're going to epoxy it later on. Once I get both windings on, then we'll do an epoxy. She's wanting to roll on me. And here's what the deal is. If you look at the case, you see this is the bearing holder right here, and you can see how they've got it tapered. Now, some of them don't have that. Some of them just have almost a piece of pipe sticking straight out that hold it. They don't have those angles, and you won't be able to tell till you open it up. Either one works. They're okay as long as you push that wire up out of the way. And then let's see if I can do this one-handed. And I'm going to get it on there, and you can see now there's no rubbing. Initially, when you wind it, you'll have some rubbing. You'll have to push that up out of the way, and then later we'll epoxy both windings down. And there's a particular way to do this so that will stay out of the way with the epoxy on it, and this end gets hard, and then you'll have to epoxy inside each one of these, because if you don't, when this thing hits 6,000 RPMs, that wire will come out of them slots and then get between here and the magnet and eat it up, and then you start shorting, and she won't run no more. So and same thing, if you've got any rubbing up here, it'll hit. Now, with the motor that has the loose bearings, what you'll have to be careful of is these get compressed enough when you're winding, or afterwards you can take and you can put them down on your bench like so, and put a board on top, and you can tap the whole thing with a hammer until it's flatter. Now, in this case, I don't have to worry about that, but in the ones that have removable bearings, you may have to worry about that. You may, if you get over the commutator too much, because you'll have to adjust this front bearing out this way, which will shove the whole thing back in the case. This will go a little bit deeper, and you're going to want to make sure you're not hitting your brushes in the back, on the back plate. And you'll see it when you've got it all apart. You'll understand exactly what I'm talking about. And if you have one with removable bearings, you'll get it. You'll get the grasp of it. But it's just little things to look out for. You know, try to save y'all some time. I think I wound about 12 of these the first time I did it, because one problem led to another, until I had them all solved. So anyway, that's just another tip for you. Bye.